Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here. And last time we came into the wild area, and at the start of it, Hop had a conversation with BD. Actually, maybe that was 2 episodes ago. How long have we been in this wild area? That was 2 episodes ago. Yeah, last time we ran into a trainer. Well, 2 episodes ago, Hop and BD said they were going off to have a battle. And by the way, this gauntlet, this is a... Well, that is a very... what's the word I'm looking for? Gruesome looking attack. I need to throw a Pokeball at this thing. Anyways, so yeah, that's Curse. When a Ghost type uses that, they cut their own health in half to put a curse on the opponent, which does 25% damage at the end of each turn. This is my first encounter for this segment of the wild area, so I get to catch this thing. Hopefully. I mean, if not, the hail and its own curse is going to kill it at the end of this turn. I would love to use a Gauntlet. It is a ground ghost type, so it's a pretty unique type combination. It gives it all sorts of interesting immunities. Immunity to electric, immunity to fighting, and immunity to normal attacks, but mainly electric and fighting, which are 2 fairly prevalent attacking types. I want to use a Golurk sometime in competitive. There are so many Pokemon in this game that I want to use in the competitive scene. I know I said that some of my all-time favorites, Garchomp and Heatran, aren't in this game, and I'm kind of saddened about that. Licky Licky isn't in this game either. Well, but a lot of the Pokemon that are here, I enjoy them. And this is one example. Alright, so, yeah, last time in the wild area, we fought a Pokemon breeder that was strapped with cash, but had a team of level 30 starter Pokemon. They were in their mid-evolution stage. Not their final evolution, but the mid. The stage 2, I guess we can call it. And we also lost our Eldegoss. Lost our Eldegoss to a wild Wobbuffet. I was just trying to go for some items, and it spawned, like right in front of me. Alright, so we have... Well, we do have a ghost. No, kind of a ghost attack. The Nightshade had 1 health left. Dang, we could not have made that any closer. Definitely going to put him on the team. It never got to use one. It's originally from Unova. Again, I really like the 5th gen. So many of my favorite 5th gen Pokemon are in this game. And that's awesome. So we're going to use this. I never had a chance to use it in a Unova playthrough. Oh, there's a Claydol. There's a Maractus. I don't want you things. Now, where am I trying to go here? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna... I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting Corvisquire up front. That's what I'm doing. Another thing to note about the wild area is it has, like, each segment will have different weather conditions on each day. And so if you come back the next day, there'll be different weather conditions in this area. And that will affect some of the Pokemon that you see in this area. Because some Pokemon will only spawn during certain weather conditions in certain areas. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. Okay, I guess we're going to take the flying taxi and head back and heal up again. Do I just cut the segment here? And sometimes if I might just like cut the segment and come back when I've got it, when I'm back to where we were. So you're not seeing all of this mundaneness on the screen. Doesn't help that I don't have the most riveting commentary at the moment. But anyways, the battle between Hop and Beatty, remember that for a bit later on. Okay, and we're going to go back to Bridgefield. Bridgefield is kind of like the in-between point between the two major segments of the wild area. And it's also, you know, right where you have another nursery. Personally, I prefer the nursery on Route 5 because you have that big long bridge there. And you actually get a nice overview of the wild area from the bridge. Oh, that's a Joltik. I'm not going to fight that thing. Actually, I'm going to avoid all of the max raid battles right now. Just because this is a Nuzlocke, and Nuzlocke rules are applying. And here's a nice little trio of 3 dens. There's another one. Okay, there's actually another one behind me. Past gameplay me did not realize it at the angle I came in. Yeah, that'll be a great spot to get to farm watts. You always want to be farming things like watts and money because you can use those things to leverage some of your EV training with. If you have a bunch of cash, you can just buy a bunch of vitamins and EV train that way. Alright, and there's some more pillars there. Another neat thing is I like how they have those pillars of light so you know where the max raid battles are from a distance, and you know like which direction to head towards if you're looking for those. And again, the max raid battles, they will be different each day as well. Different Pokemon will spawn in different max raid dens. Also, if you clear out every max raid battle, that will also reset the dens. And you can also use that to farm additional watts. There's another Delibird. I think the Delibird was like a limited time raid battle thing. It was around like late December time. Who knows when it'll be when I get around to uploading this episode. So if you're wondering why we're seeing a bunch of Delibirds, a bunch of Delibirds, that would be why. You can see with some of the snow flying, so we're going to have hail weather. There's another Delibird. We're going to have some hail weather going on. That also is going to bring out some Ice-type Pokemon. Oh, there's a Howlucha. I almost want to catch that thing, but I don't know what level it's going to be since it's wandering on the road. Howlucha is a Pokemon that doesn't evolve. It's a fighting flying type. And it's pretty fast and pretty strong. Yeah, Moonstone. We just got mooned. Okay. So this segment is the Dusty Bowl. And in my opinion, it's kind of like one of the segments that I almost forget to check sometimes. I don't know what it is. It just feels like the way the routes I take, I end up going almost completely around the majority of this area. That's a Mandibuzz. Not going after that. That's a Haunter. not going to contend with that either. Tempting, but no. If this wasn't a Nuzlocke, I might be doing more out here. I saw a glimmer on the ground there, past gameplay me. He didn't see it. Sometimes when it's snowing or... we found that glimmer. Star piece! Those are actually quite valuable. Stardust, not so much. Yeah, you'll find a bunch of items to sell for cash as well in the wild area. Another thing is, you might not want to just offload all of your treasures right away. Number one, if you're looking at your oh, excuse me. If you're looking at your cash account, or your Pokédollars account, and you sold all your treasures, you have no other... Well, I mean, there are probably other items you could sell, but that's the amount of money you have. Whereas if I'm looking at the money that I have here for this playthrough, like, I'd feel comfortable spending it because I know if I needed to offload some treasures and get some cash, I can do that really quickly. Another thing is, there is a certain shop, we haven't run into it yet, but I'm going to bring it up because it's kind of relevant right now. Oh, there's Vanillish. Yeah, I can catch this thing. Oh, gosh, it's level 42. We can't catch level 42 Pokemon, can we? I'm going to have to hit him with that again. Oh, we can't take another one of those hits. It has Ice Body, so it's going to heal in Hail. This is suddenly not going as I have planned. But it is in an Uproar, so that means it's locked into using Uproar, which is a normal type move. Look who has immunity to Uproar. Ah. Of course, if it says the Uproar ends... Oh crap, it calmed down. I can't keep this thing in here. You know, I'm not going to risk my Gauntlet. I'm not going to risk anything else I have. I think that's too high of a level for us to catch anyways. I don't think we're permitted to catch level 42s. Wasn't paying attention to if there was a strong Pokemon sign at the start of that battle. And then there's another little island out there with an item. I can't get to it. I want it, though. Alright, so we're just scouring around looking for items. Comet Shard. Oh, those are pretty valuable, too. So anyways, this shop I was telling you about, like, every day, one time a day, they will buy a certain piece of treasure. Sometimes it's a Comet Shard, sometimes it's a nugget, sometimes it's a rare bone, you know, whatever the case may be. But they'll offer to buy a rare treasure for way higher than what you would get if you just sold it at a regular Pokemart. For instance, that Comet Shard, I don't know how much it normally sells for. I want to say like 7,500 or 10,000, maybe 5,000, somewhere around there. Well, anyways, this shop offered to buy a Comet Shard for me for 30,000 Pokédollars. So yeah, it's a massive amount more than what you would normally get. So whatever you do, you might want to keep a couple of each treasure just in your bag, just so you can cash in on that opportunity and make your money go a bit farther for you. And this person, yeah, whenever you see these fishers or some other people that will offer to give you some items that they found, for 100 watts. 100 watts really isn't much, especially when you get to the post game and every den will give you either 200 or 2000 watts. Yeah, especially the fishers. 3 pearls is probably like the worst thing you'll get. They're not sold for too much cash. I think I had the special treasure buying guy offer to buy a pearl once for like 3,000 Poké Dollars. And there's a Greedent. I like that name. We got greedy trying to get berries, and we paid for it. Dang, this thing is... It can take a hit, that is for sure. So let's do this. It's using spit. Okay, so it has stockpiles, spit up, swallow, and some other move. And since the AI is apparently pretty bad at this, you have to use stockpile before you can get any use out of spit up or swallow. And they're not doing that. So we're just going to take this opportunity to keep smashing this thing. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. At first I thought it was like pooping out all those berries when it died, but no, they actually fall out of its tail. It's so greedy, it just, if it can't eat all the berries it has, it just stuffs them in its tail for later. Some of those little things, they're just amusing to me. So anyways, the wild area is basically like the open world area for Pokemon. I mean, granted, there are boundaries, but there's a lot of places to go, a lot of minor items to pick up on the ground. You got the raid dens, you got all the different Pokemon that will spawn in that. And this is also why I don't typically play... Oh, here's another one of these guys. Yeah. Yes. This is always a good deal. 5 experience can extra small experience can. That's fine. That's still worth 100 watts, in my opinion. So yeah, when I play like open world games, this is why I don't really play open world games. Because I just find that I spend so much time just running around picking up all these minor items, and then I'm like, I haven't really accomplished anything. I haven't progressed the story. I haven't done much productive. It's just a bunch of this collecting and going from minor place to minor place. And I'll see the main goal in the distance, and I'm like, well, oh, if I go a little bit over here, here's a spot where I can pick up some items and harvest this, and then, oh, I see something else a little bit further from that. And so I go there, and I'm like, oh, well, it's still not that far off. And I keep going, and keep going, and keep going, and I'm hunting all these minor items. And then I check my map, and I am, like, so far off from the main path I was originally going on. And it's kind of been happening here in the wild area. I'm sure you've noticed that. But after this, we're going to be done in the wild area. There's our goal right there. So yeah, this is why I don't play open world games, and why you're probably not going to see me playing Zelda Breath of the Wild. Because there's just so much open space and so many minor things to do that overall I don't feel like spending time on them. I don't feel like spending the time traveling between them. The wild area here in Pokemon Sword and Shield, probably about the biggest I'd want to go for this type of thing. I like the overall idea that there's so many different Pokemon and areas that have that you can have congregated together, rather than like splitting these dens up throughout the entire world. I like how all the dens are going to be in the wild area. So I do like some of the design aspects of it. And we have another Greedant here. Oh, it knows rest. Well, that's obnoxious. Also, with the Hone Claws boost, I thought I might be able to accomplish something with Fury attack there. It didn't go too well. So let's just pump our attack even further. So yeah, this is why I just have a really hard time getting into games like Breath of the Wild or Final Fantasy 15 because of their open world nature. It's just not my style of game. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Okay, that'll work. It's just not my style of game. There is one open world game that I was watching a bit of an LP of and decided to pick it up myself. I don't know if I'm going to record it for the channel or not. Who knows, maybe I'll just do it as a stream. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's not in my immediate schedule, but that game is Horizon Zero Dawn. Some of the aspects of typical open world games, it kind of minimizes. Like, it doesn't have 9 million types of food for you to gather and spend time cooking. You just gather berries, and you just hit a button and use your berries that you've collected in your pouch to heal your health. Rather than going into your menu going like, oh, look at all this food I have. What do I want to eat? Do I want to eat apples, or do I want to eat oranges, or do I want to eat beef, or do I want to spend a bunch of time cooking this stuff and getting these pre-packaged meals and then eat those to restore my health? No, you get berries, you use berries, that's it. And there's a couple other things that make it a bit simpler. I feel like the open world areas aren't... I don't feel it's not as super duper large as Breath of the Wild. Or Final Fantasy 15, so I feel it's more tolerable in those aspects. Like, the things aren't that far apart from each other. So I feel it is one that I can play through. And from what I saw of the LP I was watching, the story looked really intriguing, and it really spent a lot of time developing the environment and the culture of the people. And the different people, the different tribes they have. So, yeah, I was interested in it. I want to see how it turns out. So that'll be an open world game I'll play sometime, maybe. I don't know. But meanwhile, Pokemon. Yeah, see, we're spending all this time just playing around in the wild area, getting these berry trees, getting these items on the ground. There's not a whole lot of action in this episode. I do apologize if you are kind of getting bored with this. I'm getting kind of bored just commentating on this. That's why I've been, like, switching topics. But yeah, this is why I generally don't do open world games. Ooh, that worked well. I know I want to say in, like, maybe it was Gen 1 with the Pokemon Stadium game, that let Nightshade hit normal types because it just did fixed damage, even though it was Ghost Attack. And then that ground attack does double damage because our previous move failed, and now it's resting. Great, we're gonna waste more time here. And these Greedents, they're very bulky, it seems. They have pretty good HP and, like, average defensive stats. So who knows, maybe this could be something that I attempt to use in competitive. I don't know how. It'll be lower on my priority list, that is for sure. Yeah, we're gonna take way too long, and then let's get out of here, let's move on. Open world games also often tend to have you managing certain aspects of a character that I just don't really care to manage. Like, oh, your video game character, he gets tired, and so you have to set up camp and you have to sleep. He gets hungry, so you have to eat. He needs a shower, so you have to spend time showering. I'm like, I don't want to play, and people are like, ooh, that makes the game more realistic. Yeah, it makes the game more realistic. It also makes it more boring, in my opinion, because I don't play a video game to give my character a shower and make them food. I do that in real life for myself. I don't care to play a game doing that. I want to get to the fun aspects of the game, not all of this tedious management of the character. I made my bike charge faster. I don't know if that's just a temporary thing or if it's a permanent boost or whatever. But that's what we did. Ooh, Dragon Pulse as a TR. And there's Ice Beam. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Delibirds. If you're going after the Delibirds, they're probably a good idea to go after those Delibird raids, because it being an Ice-type Pokemon, you might get some Ice Beam TRs from it. Alright, we have the gym badges. Something important is going to happen in this episode, I promise. I doubt Hop will be coming. Humiliating defeat. So you beat Hop. That was kind of a twist that I didn't really expect. Yeah, I had a meeting with Chairman too. Then he ended up talking to someone else. So good luck with that. Alright, well with that, we'll go into this next Hammerlock City next time.